Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Lads on the Trails. Today we're in a place called Astley Green, which is in Greater Manchester, just outside of Salford and that. We've come to a place called Lancashire Mining Museum, and yeah, we thought we'd come here and have a little explore in that, and I'll get you some more information shortly. Enjoy! Yeah, so this is Lancashire Mining Museum. That there is the engine house. They've got a miniature railway here, obviously what used to run for the quarry. This is the old shaft, obviously, like mining shaft. I believe there's maybe the oldest one left in the UK, or one of the oldest ones. Like I said, I'll try and get some information, and it might be a bit of a voiceover because I forgot my information today, so I do apologise for that. But yeah, it's free entry, I believe, as well. They're only open at certain times as well, like we've come today, which is Tuesday. They're open from 1 PM till 5 PM. Obviously they do rely on donations, so if you can put a donation in for them, you know, because everything what they collect comes back into the museum, and obviously putting on things here as well. Teesside George, and that's the correct name for it. Yeah, so they do have this little railway here. I think it might be £2 or £3 for a ride on it, and it just comes from this station up there. I'll get up there in a minute in that, but I thought I'd just get underneath for you. Wow, imagine walking up that. I'm not very good with heights, but would be quite good to get up there, wouldn't it? It's like the windows there, as you can see, are filled in and that, and that's where the mechanisms would have come down. Obviously the police and all that lot. I'll walk up to the trains this way. That's probably where the wires and that went, weren't it, as well?
It'd be amazing you go up there, wouldn't it?
I was just saying that. Imagine walking up there. I'm not great with heights, but it'd be quite cool to do. So yeah, they've got a little platform area. Old 12-ton railway carriage, if you like, wagon, as they're called. But yep, see. Stop, look and listen. I'm not going to get myself killed or anything, anyone, so don't worry about that. But I am going to be stopping on the tracks to take some pictures, because I like to do that kind of thing. So yeah, comes up onto a platform, like I say. Now, I don't think it's on today, the actual train, because the gates are shut up there. But yeah, here we go. There's some pictures and stuff like that. You can see. Don't think that's the actual one for here, that, because that looks quite small, that little shaft there, and wenching machine, I suppose it's called, or something like that. Let me know. Like I say, I totally forgot my information today, which is unusual for me. I would ask Saz to get on Google, but we know what Google did to us last time. He got us lost. Some newer pictures there, obviously I've been building all this, repairing it, repairing the tracks and stuff. It's a nice little place, you know. Been a few times, to be honest. It's not our first time we've been here. But we thought, why not come back and do it, you know? Thought it might have been a bit busier with it being school holidays, although we are 15 minutes before we're opening, which is, you know, it's nice for them still to let us in and have a look around and that as well. See, there it is as well. With the little engines, choo-choo! Yeah, give us a choo-choo, everyone. Choo-choo! So we're just gonna head in. I'm gonna head in now to the engine room. We've got these steps to get up. Quite steep, but you know, we do have a little bit of information. Taz managed to find a leaflet, so at least I've got something to say. But yeah, here's the engine room. Like I say, up there, what would have been where the, like, not chains as such, but the cabling would have come in. And it would have gone onto the machine just over here. And everything like that, so we'll see how far up and close and personal we can get. Wow, magnificent. I have actually seen this in Steam, if you like. And oh, it's loud, as you can imagine. But look at all the mechanisms which go with it. You know, they would have been pumping and stuff like that.
And we're going to hand to me then.
All pressure gauges. Seen this in Steam and it's really, really loud. The switch on at 2. Oh, that'll be quite good. Might be able to get the switch on then at 2 o'clock. So yeah, that's where all the wires, like the cabling, like I say, would have come around. Like I say, hopefully at 2 o'clock it's meant to be switch on so we can hopefully see it in motion. Oh, look at that, it's the governor. We've seen one of them at the Calderdale Industrial Museum. If you haven't seen that video, head over. It's on our channel there. That's a really interesting museum, a lot to do with textiles and stuff like that. We had running machinery and everything there as well. You see these pistons here as such, I think that's what they would have called them. They would have been coming, so that would come out and it'd go down to that bit there as well. I might have a chat with this chap here. Let's see what he's got to say. Excuse me, sir, could I just bother you for a moment? Hello? Hello? Oh, he's not real, everyone. Silly me. Someone's clocking in. Look at the wheel there. Wow. You can see the mechanics there and everything of it all the cogs and everything inside. We can get up and around here as well. It's quite good. Oh wow, it's amazing. So yeah, it was 2 winding ropes on this drum at a 2 3/16 of an inch in diameter, weighing half a ton per 100 foot. So that was quite substantial, really. And the winding depth in this shaft is 872 yards, which is 2,616 feet, which means there is about 13 tons of rope which went around this, which would have been quite substantial, really. And 9 tons of coal at the start of the return to the service, so it brought up 9 tons of coal. Wow. By law, each rope had to be recapped every 6 months as well, and each new rope had to be fitted every 3 years, so obviously they had to be recapped every 6 months. And then every 3 and a bit years, they actually had to replace them completely. And the engine was used to turn the spool. And you can see on the drum shaft, just inside the drum, a small steel shaft was bolted to one of the spools at one end of the shaft. Was a small game mechanism which drove the spool. At the time, at the other end of the shaft was a sprocket, which was connected to the small engine by a chain. When a new rope was fitted, 90 yards was wound into like a spool, and the spool was then clamped. Part of this 90 yards was used when the rope was recapped, so 9 yards was cut off every recap. 54 yards over the life of the rope. The engine was used on both sides of the drum, also at number 2 as well. Yeah, so I don't know whether it meant this bit or not, but I can't really see it being that. I should imagine it would have been this, because I can't really see you getting spills around that, can you? And that. But yeah, if we can just look how you can get down there, take a look. Yeah, look at the mechanism in there. Far right, it probably would have meant inside there as well. Wow. Like I say, hopefully at 2 o'clock we'll be able to come back and see it all in action as well. So that'll be quite good as well. Right, I seem to have hit a bit of a problem, everyone. I seem to have lost his bags there, you know, but just seem to have lost him. It's like, so I don't know where he's disappeared to. I've shouted him and everything, and I've asked that geezer up there, but as we know, he's just stiff. There's nothing there, so I don't know where he's gone. Yeah, but yeah, it's just like, so I've lost Taz, so I've now got to try and find him. He's got a bus ticket up. Oh, he's coming out of his orbit hole again. Are you Taz? I thought I lost you.
It's quite a spirit, it's small enough you could go at.
Yeah, I tried the one at Calderdale, remember, and yeah, I nearly put me back out.
Good try this one if you want.
You might be carrying me back out. Who's going to do the filming then?
Me.
No, Taz, no. A little replica of it. And that starts going back up. and it would have brought the coal up. So I think some of these would have been the cabling, which would have gone around. As you can see, it's quite thick, that. So they would have been, obviously, for the shaft itself, like dragging everything up. The pulley system, as they call it. Yeah. They probably would have been things which would have dug into the coal and stuff like that. Size of the spanners, what you would have needed to change a bolt. I bet they weighed some. Obviously it would have been painted red originally by the looks of it. Astley Green Colliery explosion on the 6th of June 1939, leading to the loss of life of 5 lives and several seriously injured, and they were John Griffiths, John Hewitt, Joseph Kennigan, Ellie Smith, William Walters, and injured were Lewis Jones, one called John, William, Frank, and another William. Wow. Okay everyone, so what I've just found out is that at this colliery, Astley Green Colliery, there was an explosion on the 6th of June 1939. There were a loss of lives, in total there were 5 and several were seriously injured. The timeline of the events for the 6th of June 1939 are as follows. The Godfire first reported at 12:30 a.m. by Mr. Hewitt, the manager, and had summons to oversee the situation. And the night shift of 1,000 men withdrew, obviously as a precaution. And there were rumours in the village that something was wrong at the pit, but initial statements said that there were no injuries. 40 main officials and trained firefighters went to fight the fire. Between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. in the morning shift, 1,000 men descended. During the morning shift, some of the men were withdrawn from certain sections of it. A party of officials, including those who were later killed and injured, descended as well. They were working in the C panel of the Combrook mine, I think it was called, when the godfire had occurred earlier that day. Men had continued to work in the Rams mine on a lower level. By 1:30 p.m, news of an explosion in the Combrook reached the men in the Rams mine. A fireman asked the men in the Rams for help. Following the explosion, a call was sent to the mine's rescue station at Boostown, which is just another town outside here, who sent men quickly to the scene. 10 rescue men wearing breathing apparatus went down, and a message was sent then to the Tyldesley ambulance station for supplies and oxygen and carbon dioxide. Efforts were made by the teams to get to the trapped men, and they fought their way to where 3 men laid apparently dead. Almost immediately, 3 more explosions occurred in a rapid succession, so basically just one after each other, by the sounds of that, which drove the rescuers obviously back. Throughout the afternoon, the parties worked in relay, and the anxious crowd around the gates knew something seriously had happened. When a Mr. D.C. Smith agent from the colliery went down the pit, and later the inspector of the mines, Mr. Coltsworth, and T.J. Brown, the miners' agents, went down the pit as well. At 2 p.m, a short notice at the pit entrance said no afternoon shift. By the evening, lorry loads of brick and sand were being rushed to the mine on the busy East Lancashire road. A police officer was on traffic duty to facilitate the quick arrival. The brick and sand were sent down in cages to the rescue men for strengthening of the barriers, which had been built to prevent the fire from spreading. By the following Thursday, the affected area was sealed, and further inspections were planned on the 12th and 13th of June. The pit reopens, and the Vicar of Astley actually arranged a simple memorial service at the pit head on the Sunday the 18th of June. The first 3 bodies recovered on the 8th of July, John Hewitt, Ellie Smith and William Warhurst, who were the first to be recovered, and they were brought obviously, and then 2 further bodies were recovered on Saturday the 15th, which were Joseph Keelan and John Griffiths, and the inquest actually concluded on the 25th of July. So there were an explosion here and stuff, and they were local people. William Warhurst, he was a collarer. He died at the age of 36. John Griffith, the onlooker, died at the age of 45. John Hewitt, who was a colliery manager, died at the age of 36. Joseph Keegan, he died at the age of 38. Ellie Smith died at the age of 46. Lewis Jones, he was a 35-year-old colliery fitter. And then you had William Smith as well, who was 38. And you had Frank Morris, who was 34 as well. So yeah, they are the people who sadly lost their lives here. Like I said, there were those which were injured as well. 5 fatalities and also 5 injuries. So in a total of 10. If you remember our Clifton tunnel one, which we did, there were a lot more deaths there. There was 170 odd, if I remember right. Obviously head over to the YouTube channel to see that one. Mine welding engine installed in 1912. 3,300 HP twin tandem compound, the largest used in the Lancashire Coalfields. loads of interesting stuff here as well, which you can learn about, you know, like about headgear and stuff like that. I'll try and get some pictures and everything as well, and I'll incorporate that into all the video and stuff as well. A penny wheel, I've heard of that before, which ran along the L-shaped track. Taz thinks he's in charge, everybody. Oh, hello. Can I help you? It's Taz. You're late.
Clock in, please.
I can't be bothered today. Don't want to work. I don't want to work. You're clocking in. Taz is going to show us that he's clocking in, everyone. About time he did a bit of work.
Clocked in that work.
It's alright for the kids as well, all this, you know. It's little things like, it's like that's the tunnel experience there, which Taz went through. Like I say, I don't think I'm going to try that, because that's quite a thing for me. Let me see if I can just get the flash on for you as well. That's flash off, so I remember what flash on. As you can see, it's very dark in there, and that's what it would have been like down in the mines, everybody. It's how dark, when you think they would have only had like gas lighting maybe, something like that. I doubt it would have been head torches or anything, you know, so it would have been quite dark, it would have been dusty, you know, very confined spaces, you know. I don't like confined spaces or anything at height or anything like that, but just imagine this was like hundreds of feet below the ground, you know, so when that explosion happened, obviously it would have been quite an impact down there, like, and then you've got to think about how unstable the ground would have been and stuff like that. It must have been terrifying. Astley Green Colliery was sunk in 1908 by the Pilkington Colliery Company. Now, the Pilkington Colliery Company are based in the Clifton area, and they traded as the Clifton and Kersley Coal Company. However, reserves were running low by the early 20th century, and they turned their attention to the untapped reserves here at Astley Green. The coal mining to the north had been recorded in the 15th century, and the outcropping stems had been extensively worked. The coal seam dipped at 1 in 5 to the south, and hence become deeper to the south. Demand for coal at the turn of the century was enormous, and despite the problems of deep shaft sinking through unstable and wet areas, if you like, and the Pilkingtons considered the project to be economical. A sinking method, what that actually is the drop of the shaft, was used for the first time in Britain. It consisted of forcing cylinders of iron tubing with a cutting chute at the bottom into the ground and excavating within the shield. The next section of tubing was then attached, and the process continued until it was more stable ground at a depth of around 100 feet was reached, and then a large masonry thrust pillar, which can be seen today, was constructed to provide a weight to resist the force of the hydraulic jacks pushing down the tubes below the 100 feet. And it was obviously more stable, but was very wet, and the tubing was still employed down to 400 feet, but the lower down the shaft and stuff like that, and it was attached to the previous section. The pit bottom was 890 yards and was reached without loss of life in 1912. So there we go. Some more information for you. The headgear as well were wooden construction and only about half the height of the permanent steel structures. Number 1 shaft was designed previously for coal winding, and it was for the downcast shaft, i.e. fresh air was drawn down the shaft into the workings. The steel headgear was completed by 1912, whereas the wooden number 2 headgear remained until 1916. The number 2 shaft was connected to the ventilation fan, which drew air out of the mine. Consequently, the headgear was enclosed to prevent short-circuiting the air. This feature made the shaft difficult to use for coal winding due to the movement of tubes through the airlocks. However, skip winding system was introduced soon after nationalisation. So yeah, we're just coming up to nearly 2 o'clock, so we're just going to hang around here and see whether they start this up, and hopefully, like I said, can get you some pictures, some video footage of it all going. And then we'll try and see about all this lot in action and stuff like that as well. I did notice a sign outside 2 o'clock, but I think it might just be dependent really. But yeah, so hopefully we can get it running today, because I think it'd be great to show everybody as well. And the noise what it would have created as well. Yeah, so we just come back outside. We're getting a little bit noisy in there. Hopefully it's all come all across on the video okay and stuff like that. So yeah, going to be waiting for him to crank it up, as they say, you know what I mean, and then we can show it you in action. Yeah, so this is like where they store, I think, now the actual locos which run on this little bit of track work. Like I say, it goes all the way around there and it brings you around up there. They've got like a little station area up that way and stuff. So yeah, and some old engines here, Huslets, I think they're called Huslets or Huntlets, something like that, Huntlets or something. Yeah, so these are probably what would have worked in the mines and stuff like that as well. You know, like driving down like the coal around and stuff. Well, not down the mines maybe, but you know, around that area, like transporting the coal and stuff. So yeah, and there's a nice little refreshments there, nice and cheap. I think it's £1.50 for like a cup of tea, coffee or something like that. Chocolate bars, you know, they're about 70 odd p or so. Packets of crisps about 70p, so it's well worth going in there, getting your little refreshments as well, because every single penny goes to, you know, the upkeep of this place as well. So yeah. Hi Taz, you okay? We're not lost you this time.
No,
we're not.
Ended up running soon,
Okay, well we'll head back up. Yeah, because it says please donate, running time 2 p.m. so it's coming up that time. Should we head back up? Do you want to head back up, Taz? So what have we got here? What's this? Ah, right, the horses' gin. So obviously this would have been where like the horses been walking around, would it, and stuff like that, turning the little mechanisms and stuff on the ropes and all that. So yeah. Tess has got some pictures there. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, there would have been rope tied around it and everything. Come back out. We're not too sure whether it's actually going to be running today. Like I said, there was just down here, it turned around and said engine running and that, but that could be just from the weekend gone. So, but if we do see anyone, we'll ask them. everywhere you look around here, you can maybe little nook and crannies like a machinery or something like that. Yeah, so you really do have to have a look around and stuff like that. So yeah. Yeah, last time we came here, there was a little like shaft plate which could go down, weren't it, and stuff like that. Like, you know, a lot of old machineries there and that. Like I said, just every nook and cranny, you know. There's something, there's a lamp room there. There's one of the ponies. You know, all different machinery there. Yeah, it's a good little day out, you know, like if you want to spend half a day here, you know, with children and that. I think it was that, weren't it?
Yeah, it's not open today.
No, it doesn't seem open. Like you could go along there, around and down there and stuff.
It's got a train in it now.
Yeah, it looks like it's got a train in it now, and stuff like that, which is quite cool. So yeah, like you got all the different local engines here and stuff. Like I said, these would have been like probably ferrying it around and stuff like that. And like compressor bits there, like hydraulics. Yeah, there's some more there. If you do know what they are, please let me know. You know, in the comments and that. And don't forget, like and subscribe, share us with your friends and everybody, you know. And the videos are getting noticed and stuff like that, which is kind of good. But, you know, we need more people to like and share us, if you can, please. This around here is actually from Digby. I think it's from his garden, I'm not too sure, might be wrong. But yep, this was Fred Digby, however it's pronounced, you know. I try my best. He weren't scared of going up them chimneys, was he? You know, demolitioning them, getting up there and yeah. But yeah, so that's one of the egg gears from his actual garden there, if I remember right. Taz's thinking, can I fit in there? Have you got in that, Taz? We'd lose you. Yeah, so see these wires like that, like that would have ran up to there. So you could imagine the size of the ones in the main one over there, how massive them cables would have been, like, you know, around the mechanism there. You know, so yeah, but it's interesting. Like I say, it's a free day out. You know, they do ask for donations, and I do recommend like people make a donation. We'll put links on at the end of the video to the Facebook website, etc. like that as well. Yeah. It's quite fascinating, really, that. How we had it in his... I'm sure it was the one which was in his back garden, if I remember right. I'll try and find some information, but I'm sure I'm right with that one. This would have been a steam crane, even. Not a stick train, a crane. Need to pump my seaford. Yeah, so here we go. There isn't a lot, but I'm going to go into the lamp room now.
Well, we do got YouTube channel now as well. So we can promote the museum as well. Fine. So what's it like working in the pits, like? Loved it. Yeah. What year did you leave?
1995.
Wow.
Started in 1970. I started off on day wage, bottom of the ladder, for £25 a week, which was about £1 more than was getting in the butcher shop.
Yeah.
You start off at the pit bottom, off and training, learn every job around the pit bottom, and you move in by, learn more skills, more money, and you keep going until you end up on the face. You learn every single job in the line, and I end up as a cutter operator, and then I went in for what they call the pit deputy's job. Tasteless light and air. When you put gas in it, but this isn't methane I got in it. because we haven't got any. This is just butane gas. But the methane gas, as I said, almost colourless, tasteless, light and you burn it in your cooker at home and the gas fire, but you can't. They put a chemical in it so you can detect it.
Yeah.
What we do, we read the gas readings on this. If you look at that chart there, they're the readings. 1.25% out of 100 is so minute, but it'll cause us to stop using explosives in the mine.
Wow.
At 2%, we'd have to disperse the workforce and deal with it. If we got between 5 and 15%, which is the explosive range, 9 being the most powerful, we are in deep trouble.
Wow.
Fill this room up with 100% gas, ignite it, it just burns till it got the right oxygen and gas level, and then it completely wiped the site out.
Wow.
It'll flatten the ideas a lot. That's just what's in this room, sadly. But then again, if there's a gas explosion in the mine, there's always a second explosion, which is 10 times more powerful, which is a dust explosion.
Yeah.
What happens? The gas will airborne everything, and then it will ignite because it would absolutely destroy things.
Like at Clifton Tunnel.
Yeah, Clifton Tunnel, there was an explosion there when it was 178 men, weren't it, there, and boys which died in that one.
Well, the biggest one in this area was Victoria Colliery in 1910. 344 men and boys got killed.
Wow.
On the 22nd December, just before Christmas.
Wow.
And the youngest being 8. And as a result of that explosion, it went through the House of Parliament that nobody under the age of 16 could ever go down a pit again. But it goes back even further. There was one in Yorkshire where about 100 and something men and boys got killed, and the youngest was 8 there, and they put it through that no one under the age of 13 could go on the pit.
Wow.
The government decided 16. It might even be 18. You know, I'm almost certain it is 18, not 16. But I'd have to look it up.
Wow.
Which one was that one?
Victoria.
Victoria.
If you ever go up to West Norton Village, you've got the War Memorial, and on the opposite side of it, over the other side of the road, is the Miners' Memorial. It's one of the nicest memorials you'll ever see in your life.
Oh, we'll definitely pop into that.
Name of every person is on that memorial, and then they've got a second memorial at the site where the colliery was, or near enough, and that's in Atherton. You know when you're coming down past the speed camera from Bolton?
On the 582, I know.
Yeah. It's the second before it's just after where the speed limit goes from 40 to 30.
Wow.
You turn right and it's on the estate there, and it takes you onto the field, but it's just at the edge of the field.
All right, brilliant.
That's a smaller one.
Let's look into that.
Yeah,
But
because
it's worth looking at.
yeah, definitely, because we're interested in all that kind of thing, aren't we? Like and stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. I think there'll be next ones maybe later on in the week or in the month to be doing. Because we did the Clifton Hall tunnel, weren't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, there's nothing really there of it. They found all remnants, weren't it, of the old tunnel and everything like that and stuff. So, but yeah.
Can I ask you, do you know anything about the Williamson's tunnel?
No.
I wouldn't have thought you would have done because it's in Liverpool. I'm from Liverpool. I'm from Toxteth. In the area where I brought up, there's a tunnels called the Williamson Tunnels, and the history of it is there was a very, very well-off person, to help people who were on the breadline, he'd employ them and basically just dig tunnels everywhere. And he's done this tunnels at the bottom of Grove Street. You go up Grove Street and then onto just off Grove Street, and it's absolutely marvellous. You can actually go in and see it. Now I went a few years ago, and now they've improved it. I've seen a picture on Facebook of it lately, but it's mind-boggling. These are all under houses and everything.
Wow.
And it was dangerous. But the Ursula Lightfoot, that's who's done it. No, it won't be on that. Let me just find it for you and I'll show you the picture she's put on.
I'd be interested to go to.
We're looking to that West Hart as well.
Yeah, the West Horton and Everton one.
Really, still I don't say you took it off. She must have done.
I'll look into Williamson Tunnels.
Yeah, but
Williamson Tunnels are called.
right, well, we'll look into them.
Let me
No.
have a look at. I'll find it. I'm sure I can. Might be on my own Facebook. Most obvious place to look is my own, really. No, it's not there. Sadly. No. Just look in Merseyside, Williamson Tunnels, and you should find it.
Fine.
It's a fascinating place to visit. That's the one.
Brilliant.
It was on a Friday.
All right. Might be a little
It's
bit.
another place like this, all volunteers, nobody gets paid, and there's a lot of people working hard there.
Wow.
You know, same as ourselves.
Okay, so to look into that one.
Yeah, we'll definitely look into that, though, and definitely the West Horton and Everton as well, and then we can see.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Billy. Thank you. What's your name, Billy?
Yeah.
Do us a favour, before you go in the shop and put the comments in the book for us.
We will do, yeah.
We need the more comments in the more likely we can get funding.
Yeah.
We're not getting any funding at the moment.
We're gonna play it. We're gonna play it on our YouTube channel as well. Put the funding page there.
Yeah, we'll put everything on, and I'll try and put a website link or Facebook link, keep coming up on the video and everything as well, so then it gets people referred to you. All right, thank you very much. Let's get a picture of them.
Did you want to see me?
I've been into that drawer, and there's no more like that.
No, so it's all right.
That's very fascinating, that one.
Yeah.
Right.
Found Tassie's bike, everybody. That will suit him. Look at that, Get him a couple of Go Fast stripes on it. He'll be right on that. So we're just going to go into the tea rooms of miners' cottages. So here we go. Yeah. This is what it would have looked like. There you go, washing. There we go, Taz is having a sit down as normal, everyone.
I'm gonna go upstairs in a minute and show you upstairs.
Do you want to go upstairs and
Upstairs, and normal flat seat. Let me see.
I made it up. I made it up. Oh, it's not like that. Hi guys, so that is it now. We're finished here at the Mining Museum. We will be putting links up and everything like that. It's well worth coming over, like I say, make a donation, stuff like that, because they rely on funding and funding is scarce at the moment. You know, so, and everybody here is actually a volunteer, no one gets paid or anything like that. So yep, don't forget to click like and subscribe. Don't forget to share this as well. Head over to the Facebook page, give it a like for the museum here as well, and we'll see you in the next video. See you soon guys. Bye.